Hey guys, Synthetic here and welcome back to the series where we try to make Daniel Ricciardo the world champion despite starting every race from the back. And you can see we have a 52-point gap at the moment, which is quite solid, heading through to the Belgium Grand Prix. And here you can see my setup. I also used it in AOR, I think, and it worked quite solid despite a little bit of oversteer, but I think it should be fine in the race. And we're starting on the soft compound tires, so we can attack later in the race. And yeah, here we are for the start now. We managed quite a decent launch off the line, and we were able to get the first position, but I think the airline was able to get the position back, and we just tried to get a better run out of turn 1 in order to be able to attack on the straight. And you can see we were already able to get the first two positions despite getting off the track slightly through Radion, sorry. And on the straights we were able to get I think one of the McLarens it was, and luckily we were able to get the position at the end on Wehrlein behind us, and we were in P17 at this point, which is also quite a solid start to the race. And next up ahead is Stroll, who should be quite quick on the straights, but our low wings should help us here, and we gain a few tenths on the straight, but we had to wait for the bus stop chicane in order to make the move stick on him. And next up ahead was Felipe Massa, who is also in the same car, so yeah, might be more difficult to overtake him on the straights, especially if we do slight mistakes as we did in turn 1. So let's see how our straight line speed is compared to him through Eau Rouge and Radion, and now in the slipstream. And we gained quite a bit of time, and it's now nearly 3 wide, and we have to go slightly on the grass in order to not hit anyone. And yeah, we stick it on the inside and around the outside in the next corner, and we were able to make the position stick as well. Next up ahead was now Palmer, who fought with Magnussen, and we just tried to get a smart line through here, and it seems that we aren't really able to make a move at the moment, so we have to be patient and wait till someone does a mistake. And here we try to hang it around the outside, but it's really difficult because in the no-name corner it's an advantage to have the inside line, but yeah, unfortunately we weren't really able to make the move stick, so we have to be patient and wait. Now in lap 3 we tried to get a solid run out of the last part of the second sector, and yeah, the slipstream was helping us quite a bit. We were able to get another position here, and yeah, now our engineer is telling us, Jeff is telling us, that our teammate has a few problems with his car, which is not ideal. We need as much points as possible in order to have a chance in the Constructors' Championship, but here we are now right next to Palmer, and due to the DRS we were able to make the move stick as well. Up into P11 now, and next up is Sainz in the Toro Rosso, so we have to push in order to get closer to him. And here we are now in lap 5, and we were closing quite a bit, especially because he is on older ultra soft tires, and these should be quite worn because the tire wear is quite sizable on this track. And we were able to make the move stick on Grosjean because he ran wide due to the battle with Sainz, and we were able to brake later in the next corner. And make the move stick as well. And now next up ahead was Sainz, and we had at this point much more pace, which is also due to the harder compound of tires, which work really well. But you can also see that Lewis was directly behind us, and that was basically because he already did a stop, and it's not ideal because that means that the guys in front already have a pit stop lead over us, so yeah, we have to push in order to stay ahead. And you can see we gained more and more on Sainz ahead, so we have to think about a move somewhere in the next few corners as we go side by side into the bus stop chicane. And we try to stay on the outside because we have now the inside for the left-hander, but I think the guys already pitted, so yeah, we had now Lewis for company behind us, and we went defensive in order to not let him through, but fortunately he was able to brake much later and got the position from us, and we might have a chance at the later stages of the race, but now it's basically impossible to overtake him as he closes quite a bit on our teammate, who is also on the ultra soft, so he should have very worn tires as Lewis tries already a move. And now you can see our teammate slow down through Puon, and we had to take evasive action in order to not hit him, and we lost a few positions because if we didn't evade this problem, we would have had a damaged wing, and that would cost us so much time. And fortunately we were able to lose just a few positions, which we can gain very quick, especially because our pace is quite solid around here. But you can see we aren't really gaining too much on the straights, which is due to Magnussen having DRS and slipstream ahead, and it seems that Verstappen, I think, ran wide or broke too late at the end of the Camel Straight, which allowed the three guys of us to get past. And this time we tried it around the outside, which gives us the inside in the no-name corner, and we were able to make the position stick as well, and that was basically because Sebastian was right behind us, and I didn't want to have a battle with him because he had much fresher tires. But unfortunately our run through the bus stop chicane was compromised because I think someone had a puncture, and you can see that Magnussen was able to stick his nose up on our inside, so we had to leave him the space, which cost us again the position, so we have to find a way through again. And we got a solid run through Rouge and Radion, and again our low wings and the DRS should help us quite a bit. He squeezes us slightly to the apex, but the inner line of the next corner, but at the end we were able to make the position stick as well. Next up was now Farmer, and so far so good. Quite a fun race to drive, but here you can see that was really dangerous. I think Palmer got a puncture right ahead of us, which is not good. If we would have stayed in the slipstream of him, that would cost us the race, or at least the front wing. And here you can see Vettel was behind us, and we decided not to battle him too much because he was on better tires, and it would just cost us so much time to battle him because we have to fight against the Force Indias. And in lap 11 I thought we have to pit because I think Lewis was catching us, and I didn't really want to have more battles than necessary. In lap 12 we are out of the pits, and you can see that Grosjean got back past us again, so we have to use the slipstream and the DRS in order to get past, which should be not too difficult because yeah, we also should be able to brake much later with our new tires, and yeah, another position gained. And next up ahead were the two Force Indias, I think, with Ocon next to overtake, so we have to use our tires to good effect, and we did that in lap 13. We gained quite a bit through the second sector, and we are now really close, and we have to think about a smart way to get past. And there's not really an opportunity here, because it's a single line basically, and we just have to get a good run through the end of the second sector, and now we tuck in the slipstream of Ocon, and we get closer and closer through Blanchimont, and we aren't really able to make a move just yet, so we have to be patient. And I think the smartest decision might probably be to attack him on the long straight, so he can't overtake us back if we overtake him here. But here you can see he had a lock up in turn 1, which nearly cost us our front wing again, but now we are really close, and we should be able to make the move stick as well on him, which we do in lap 14 now. And yeah, that is another position gained. I think next up ahead was Vettel, who was on new super softs, I think, so if we really push, we might be able to challenge him. And yeah, at this point we just have to release every pace we can possibly find, and here you can see we closed him slightly, but he was matching our pace very consistently, and behind us was now Lewis, so it might be a three-way fight for P2, which yeah should make things quite interesting. And here you can see one of my fastest laps, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you guys after the lap. Here we are now at the end of the lap, and we were just about able to stay in the DRS of Seb, and it seems like we get quite a solid run through turn 1, and now is our chance to attack him. If we put it into Ridge and use the slipstream, we might be able to make a move, and it seems that this is the case. We used our better straight line speed, and we gained his position, and yeah, now we have to try to defend this position, and we normally should be able to run it to the end. But here you can see one of the few mistakes I did in the race. Unfortunately, we took too much curb through 1, and it cost us 2 positions and a lot of time, which is not ideal. We are now in P4, so yeah, it might be difficult at this point to get P3, because we pushed more and more in the laps after that, but we unfortunately got, I think, 2 penalties while doing so, and at the end we got P4, which is not too bad, but of course it won't really help us in the constructors and in the title fight as well. So yeah, we'll see what this does in just a second. You can see that Kimi was able to win the race ahead of Lewis and Sebastian in 3rd place, and what this does in the driver's title we'll see in just a second. You can see we are leading by 49 points, which is quite solid, and in terms of Constructors' Championship, it's also very close between the top teams, and it's 14 points between the top 3 teams, which is very close. And we'll see what this how this gap develops in the future. And that was the race. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next one as well. Goodbye.